Park, park, park. A small boy on a small bike pedals away from a smaller boy, his brother, who zombies his arms ahead of him and wails in pursuit. It's my turn! It's my turn! It's my turn! Park, park. A dog attached to a lead, but not attached to an owner, ambles by, lost in its own thoughts. I'm sure I came with someone. I'm sure I came with someone. I'm sure I came with someone. Which means that in another part of the park, there is that someone the dog came with, technically who brought the dog, though the dog may well argue with you on that reading of the situation. In this other part of the park, there is that someone running frantically around as if chasing an invisible stick, shouting, Belle! 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 Park, park. Crocuses. Under the trees, escaping the grass, crocuses, yellow and purple and joyous crocuses, small floral smiles before the multicoloured laughter of the summer that is to come. Park, park, park. An ice cream van's chime makes its repetitive point, a call to prayer the faithful can't resist, and 100 children, 99 towards it, while 1,000,000 mums and dads chant their response, you go, you go, you go. Because they've only just sat down. Summer quiet, high in the trees the wasps meet. Discuss tactics, set priorities and allocate territories.
There are a lot of targets out there, people, and we are few in number. We must fly hard, we must fly fast, we must fly smart. No straight lines, duck and dive, bob and weave, swoop out the sun, watch for the swipe, always watch for the swipe. People, we may not all come back, but we all still go. Because we are the wasps, it's what we do. Right, start your wings, all together on 3. 1, 2, 3, land in the jam!
And so their latest sortie begins. Park, park, park. As you watch, the shadows of the trees claim new territory in slow advances. A border constantly renegotiated between dark grass and light grass that creeps towards the picnic rug, blade by blade by blade, until the humus is engulfed. Park. A love heart. Carved on a bench or written in Sharpie, because in a swipe left, swipe right world, who has time to sit and carve? Park, park. A dropped ice cream melts on the tarmac like a half-arsed Jackson Pollock from that little-known period when he had tired of splattering paint and tried dropping vanilla ice cream on vast black canvases. Park, park, park. Trees, trees, so many trees, roots grabbing the planet for dear life, refusing to let go. Leaves, the most beautiful life support machines ever invented, ever ignored, ever taken for granted, because we are idiots who know so much but understand so little. Trees, who when we are asleep almost say things to each other, almost discuss the news of distant relatives. Sven. Oh yes, he's a table now, and the kids, I think they went into matchboxes, or maybe paper. Yeah, I think they might be paper. Trees, who despite the word we have wrapped them in, do not bark, but whisper. Bark, bark. 147 texts get sent in the confines of park in 1 hour that say, I'm in the park. Opposing thumbs, the things that made us human, find the apex of their purpose as eyes squint to see the screen washed out by the sun, because the sun knows what's going on and wants to scream, turn off your fucking phones and enjoy my munificence. I am the sun. Without me, you are nothing. Park, park, park. A bin overflows. A slow-motion Vesuvius of wrappers, cans, bottles. Shed carapaces of the fun that has been had, detritus of laughter laughed, conversations conversed, lives enlivened. Park, park, park. Coats for goalposts, that used to be a thing. Football games that went on late into the evening gloom, 27, 26, 27, 27, 27, 28. Until the boy whose ball it was had to take it home to be told off for staying out while waiting tea, dinner, meal curled and dried on a covered plate. Oh, and that time the ball smashed into Kev's face and was taken to casualty. Less dog shit now for balls to roll into, which is a good thing. People bag it up now in specialist bags or reluctantly conscripted freezer bags, which is odd when you think about it. Progress, undoubtedly, but odd progress. Progress used to be man landing on the moon. Now it is park path micro-mansions there to collect, to collate, to celebrate the anal extrusions of hounds. Park. A teenager with long blonde hair, large white headphones, a black t-shirt with sleeves hitched up, sits in the sun, basking in revision. 10 yards away, a mother with a buggy laden like a camel trekking across the Sahara bends over her baby to fuss, then pulls out a tube of bubbles to blow for her other child, a girl who 5-year-old's about in a grey school uniform and a bright cerise coat. Perched on a wall, between them all, a 60-year-old with an expensive bob in a navy skirt and a cream jacket squeezes soy sauce from a small plastic fish over sushi in a black plastic tray. The only thing dancing between these four, girl, teenager, mother, 60-year-old, is time. Park time that pirouettes and circles and swirls and eddies, doesn't march in straight lines. Park. Big skies in park. Big skies. Park ceiling that never needs repainting despite teeny tiny jet airliners scratching their straight-lined graffiti across the infinite. Their vapour trail tags vainly trying to impress us with where they've come from, where they're going. And now we know these lines above park are scars of self-harm we cut across the wrist of the planet. Let's not do that. Let's not kill ourselves. Let's not consume our world. Park. A fairground blossoms once a year like a candy floss flower of lights and music and shrieks and David Essex grins. Park. One bird tweets, one bird caws, one other bird sings. No consensus, no harmony, no collaboration or collusion. The air of park, an open platform, free from trolls, free from ads, free for every bird to speak. No one wondering how to monetize their self-expression. Park hates monetization, tolerates some commercial contamination like the cafe that once sold bacon sandwiches and tea but now sells pesto pasta and flat whites. But Park doesn't really like this trading post intrusion. Not really. Not if anyone ever asked it. But who asks Park anything? Oh yes, we ask things of Park, but not its opinion on anything, which may be a mistake. Park. A leaf falls to the grass, then another. Park lemmings fluttering down to a waiting green sea. Park. A middle-aged man, with an old man's body and an ancient mariner's face, wrapped up warm like an overlagged boiler, surrounded by his empire of carrier bag sups from a can of electric soup, ignores the passers-by who, passing by, ignore him, a contract of mutual indifference neither party remembers signing. Park. A haze of barbecue smoke drifts by, a sausages sizzle, liberated from cellophane in the crematorium of a kitchen death, every single sausage a Joan of Arc in its own mind, perishing on a petrol station-bought pyre of charcoal. Since when did they start bringing barbecues to the park? Is it even allowed? Not that anyone says anything, because the boys with the barbecue have their tops off and a slab of beers to quarry. Park. Mud. Oh yes, mud, always lurking just below the surface, biding its time, waiting for the liberating forces of rain to advance, to smash the locks of its earthbound prison and set it free. Mud. Hangs around the exercise yard, waiting, scheming, planning, visualising the day that it will make new trainers muddy creep up the denim of trailing frayed jeans, splashing for the heavens but only reaching the bottom of coats if it's lucky, longing for the moment someone trips or slips or falls into its smirking embrace. A short-lived triumph that ends in the spinning, shiny, metallic oblivion of the washing machine drum. But a triumph, nonetheless, for mud who knows its glories are transient. Mud, too, when no one is looking, dreams of Glastonbury and the chance to play the big stage and to finally make the papers.
Park, park, park.
At midnight, or just to the left of midnight, teenagers materialise to sit on swings that gently sway as they drink dark fruit cider, or the cheapest vodka they can get their hands on from that shop that stays open late where no one asks your age. The deserted playground, the departure gate for age-checked flights to the pubs and bars and clubs that they are too young to travel to yet. They toast the end of their childhood, inches away from the sand pits they once built castles in, and from which they once or twice or many times inadvertently smuggled sand home from in their shoes to scatter on the carpets of their living rooms like the great escape in reverse. Just to the right of midnight, they leave because it's cold and they do have beds to go to. Park, park. Early morning. The running man. Every morning, every day, every week, every month, every season. Running, running, running. Training, keeping fit, running away, running towards. The running man, listening to the White Stripes, Rachmaninoff, Beckett. Yes, Beckett. Listening to Samuel Beckett. I can't go on. I must go on. I'll go on. The running man, running, running, running. Until one day he's not running. He's crying. He never comes back. Park, park, park. A fox, the last dandy highwayman of the urban twilight world, hesitates, stops in its tracks, turns its head to listen, feels the grass beneath its silent paws. Soft as pickpocket's hands, remembers the stories it was told as a cub of the days when all its family knew was fields and woods and earth and the hunt for food that ran free. Now its people have fallen so far they scavenge in bins, live off rubbish and try not to think of the life they once lived, of the air they once breathed, of the giant park that was the world before the tarmac rivers that are roads brought the bricks and the concrete canyons and the rubbish bins they love and hate. Park, park, park. When the walls close in, when the ceiling collapses, when the floor gives way, when the arguments and shouting and anger get too much for them, this boy and girl, this brother and sister, come here. Sit holding hands on the shores of the 1 o'clock club to watch cartons of juice being offered by parents to children who do not even know that they are thirsty yet. And they wonder what that must be like. This strange continent of care they will never set foot in. Park, park, park. Where thoughts get let off the leash to run free, to chase other thoughts, to roll in the lives of 100,000 people over years and years and years. Park, park, park. I'll stop now. There is more to be said, of course, but it's not for me to say, it's for you. You say it. You go to your own park. You sit on your own bench. You see your own world. You find your own self in park. Park would like that. Yes. Park would like that. Very much. Park. Park. Park.